Hello, sports fans. My name is Mateo Arenas, and I would like to welcome you to the Weekly Assist, where we normally take you around the sports world. But today, I will not do that. Do you know why? Because sports are back. Technically, sports have been back for about a month. UFC came back. I know Dylan's really liking that, as am I. Golf has come back. Tiger Woods is finally making some appearances on the links again. And some other things have been back, like for a long time, Korean baseball, KBO. Has been broadcast on ESPN. I've caught some games. There's also been some random things. I watched some rugby the other day. It was actually very interesting to watch. But major American sports are back. Basketball is coming back on July 30th, but guess what is coming back this Thursday? Major League Baseball. Today, only myself, Mateo Arenas, will be doing an MLB preview. I'll take you through all the awards for the AL and NL and finish off with my World Series prediction. I will warn you, my takes are a little bit on the colder end of the spectrum today. I'm not going all chalk. That would be pretty boring, especially because it's just me. If I just went, oh, yeah, Yankees, Dodgers. So it will not be Yankees, Dodgers for the World Series. It won't be all chalk for the awards. There might be a little bit of chalkiness in there, but it will not be all chalk. So I will start off right now with one of my main chalk picks is AL MVP. And I have to go with Mike Trout on this one. Mike Trout, hands down, no one can argue it. He is the best player in baseball. There's some skepticism about whether he would play in this MLB restart, which I haven't mentioned yet. The MLB is only going to be playing 60 games this season because of COVID-19 has really affected the sports world. So Mike Trout, is expecting a baby, but he looks as if he will be playing in this MLB restart. And he added talent to his team. Technically, he didn't add talent to the team, but Mike Trout's there. You want to go play with the best player in baseball. Anthony Rendon was signed as a free agent, Washington Nationals World Series champion of last year. Dylan Bundy, he was added. Julio Teheran, Colombian native, he was added. So they bolstered their pitching staff a little bit. Showtime, Shohei Ohtani will be pitching this year on every Sunday as well. So that's a big addition after he did not pitch at all last year. So basically, I think Mike Trout's winning MVP. He's amazing. He's the WAR leader. If you don't know what WAR is, it's wins above replacement. It's the main metric for judging baseball seasons. And I just don't think there's any way Mike Trout doesn't win this AL MVP. I believe it would be his fourth AL MVP. He's just a beast. And in the 60-game season, if the Angels do start off hot, they could actually make the playoffs, which everyone needs Mike Trout in the playoffs. The one thing about the MLB is they don't have as much marketability as the other sports. NBA, they have all the faces, all the fans. If you ask a young fan what their favorite sport is, most times out of not, it is the NBA right now. And it's because baseball isn't marketing its best player. Its best player, Mike Trout, can't make it into the playoffs because he doesn't have a ton of talent around him. And this year, if the Angels do get off to a hot start, they can at least make a wild card spot. It's a very tough division. The A's are going to be good this year. Of course, the cheating Astros are still probably going to stick around and be good. You never know, though, because they're not banging trash cans this year. But I think that Mike Trout is AL MVP. In the NL side of things, I am going with my man, Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is a member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Christian Yelich was red hot last year before his injury that ended his season early. And he would have won MVP if he was able to finish the season. He wasn't. He got hurt. Cody Bellinger won it. He won it in 2018. I think that in 2020, Christian Yelich will win this award. MVP stands for Most Valuable Player. The Milwaukee Brewers lost talent this year. They lost Yasmani Grandal, one of their biggest offensive production people on that team. So I really think that Christian Yelich could really snag this award out by just staying red hot and carrying his team to at least a wild card spot. And I think that he's in a great position to do it. He's a slugger. He plays some good defense out in the outfield. And he's just going to continue what he's been doing for the last couple years. he's like, I still think he's underrated, even though he has a lot of respect in the MLB. But I just really like Christian Yelich, and I think he will win NL MVP. Now, a little bit of a colder take for AL Cy Young Award winner. No, I am not going with Garrett Cole, although he did get breaded up in the offseason. I am going with Tyler Glasnow of the Tampa Bay Rays. Tyler Glasnow was lights out last year in his breakout season. A .89 whip. And if you don't know what whip is, that is walks and hits per innings pitch. So that means he averaged under one base runner per innings pitch last year. And he had a 1.78 ERA. He had an injury last year, so it disrupted his year. He only had 12 starts, but in this 60-game season, 12 starts is a lot. He probably won't even get 12 starts. So if he can just stay red hot on that Rays team, which I will talk about later, I think he is in a great position to win the AL Cy Young this year. And after his injury last year, he came back throwing harder. So I think Tyler Glasnow is another breakout candidate this year. As far as the NL Cy Young Award, I'm picking my guy, Luis Castillo. If you have talked baseball with me, you have more than likely heard me talk about Luis Castillo. My heart is broken every day when I think the Giants traded Luis Castillo to the Marlins for Casey McGee, who made zero impact as a I don't want to trash Casey McGee too hard, but he made zero impact on the big league club. And we could have had a promising ace that would do so much for the Giants club. Imagine if he was there now. So I love Luis Castillo. He started hot last year. He cooled off near the end of the season, but he still had a breakout season. He gets strikeouts. He had 226 strikeouts in 190 innings last year. And talking about starting hot, in this 60-game season, that's what's important. And guess what? He might get 10 starts this year in the 60-game season. That will be pretty customary for many major league starters to get 10 starts this year. And guess what? After 10 starts last year, do you want to hear a stat line? 5-1 with a 1.9 ERA. If he replicates that, he even gets to closer to 1 ERA this year. He brings down his walks, which is his only downfall. He's in great position to win this NL Cy Young Award winner this year. And guess what? The Reds have improved their offense so much. They added Mike Moustakas, Nick Castellanos, and Shogo Akiyama in the offseason, and they're going to make a major impact on the Reds club, who finished under 500 this last year. He's going to have much better run support, and I think even in the hitter-friendly ballpark that he plays in, he can make a huge impact, and Luis Castillo is going to win the NL Cy Young Award this year. Now on to the Rookie of the Year. Another chalk pick right here. AL Rookie of the Year. I have to go with Luis Robert. Luis Robert, however you want to say it. I originally heard Luis Robert when he was correcting people. I couldn't really tell what he was saying. I'm just gonna go with Luis Robert for now because that's what I'm accustomed to. But so far there have been a couple exhibition games before the MLB season. Each team has played about 2 to 3, and Luis Robert, even in the interleague games, he's been ripping the cover off of the ball. He is a beast. You may have seen, but he hit a home run while falling down the other day. He's mashing, and he's going to be very dangerous. He's going to have a starting job and be up the whole season. You see with Rookie of the Years most times, they come in mid-season to late season. Of course, this year it's a quick season, so him being up the whole time is going to solidify his case for AL Rookie of the Year. He's just unbelievable. He's been a top prospect in the MLB for a couple of years already. He's finally making his impact on that White Sox squad, who has improved so much. They got Yasmani Grandal from the Brewers. They got Dallas Keuchel as a good starting pitcher. They have Lucas Giolito. They have their White Sox and Reds are the two most common breakout teams this year. So I think Luis Robert, pair him with the young Eloy Jimenez, they're going to be very, very good this year. Now, NL Rookie of the Year. You know, I'm a humongous Giants fan. I had to have a homer pick. I had to have one. And I did not go Joey Bart because the whole service time dilemma. He might not get called up for a while. Everyone's calling for him to get called up. I did not pick Joey Bart. I picked Mauricio Dubon. Mauricio Dubon got called up to the club last year after getting traded for Drew Pomeranz in the Brewers-Giants deal last year. And he came up last year and he made a big impact on the club. He had under 130 plate appearances, so he is still eligible for Rookie of the Year this year. And I'm saying he's going to win it because I'm a Giants fan. I had to throw in Giants mention in there. So I think he can make a huge impact, and he's going to have the at-bats to do so. The NL Rookie of the Year frontrunner, Gavin Lux, for the Dodgers, he's not going to be on the club to start the year. And guess who is going to be on the club to start the year for the Giants? Mauricio Dubon. He is a plus middle infield defender. And now the Giants, Gabe Kapler, the new managerial regime, they've shifted him into center field, and he looks flawless. He looks like he's a natural in center field. And Gabe Kapler has raved about Dubon's non-stop work in this extended offseason. He has reached out to veterans from other teams. He has reached out to almost everyone about improving his status as a major leaguer. He was a Giants fan coming from Honduras. He became a Giants fan with his house family that was housing him in the United States. And it's a dream come true for him to play for the Giants. And he made an impact last year. He already hit a home run off of Clayton Kershaw last year. He was a nice hitter too last year. He had about 270 last year in his short time with the club. He's acclimated. He's accustomed. He's going to get as many at-bats as possible. He can play middle infield. He can play outfield. Literally, he's like the ultimate platoon guy. He's like, I think like they're trying to put him in a Kike Hernandez role, but I think he could even be better than that. So my pick for NL Rookie of the Year is Mauricio Dubon. I had to go with my guy. I'm a huge Mauricio Dubon believer, so that is who I'm going with. Now on to AL Comeback Player of the Year. In 2 words for you. Technically 1 word. Show time. Shohei Ohtani. You may be thinking, Shohei Ohtani played last year? Yes, but he did not pitch. Remember in 2018, AL Rookie of the Year, Shohei Ohtani? So much hype, seemingly forgot about last year. Guess what? After getting Tommy John surgery, he is back to pitching and hitting this year. He's starting every Sunday. He still has the pop in his bat to make an impact day in and day out as a DH 5 days a week when he isn't pitching. And I think he has a great case to be the comeback player of the year. Of course, his season was cut short last year, but he can reach triple digits when pitching. He reaches 100. He is a nasty splitter. He has power. And I think when you implement the pitching part of his game back into the MLB, onto the Angels roster, I think he's going to be a beast, and I think that's his case for comeback player of the year. I think if he has a stellar pitching outings and he continues his powerful bat, I think he could definitely be the AL Comeback Player of the Year this year. Now on to NL Comeback Player of the Year, and I'm going with Edwin Diaz of the New York Mets. In 2018 with the Mariners, he was the best reliever in baseball. He was then traded to the Mets in the big trade that sent Jared Kelenic to the Seattle Mariners, Robinson Cano to the Mets. He had a very poor 2019 with the Mets. He had a 5.59 ERA and over a 1.3 WHIP. He is settled in now. Apparently, he has forged a good relationship with new Mets manager Luis Rojas, ripped Carlos Beltran's manager status with the Mets, manager for the Mets with about a couple weeks after he was exposed in the Astros scandal. And now I think Edwin Diaz is in great position to win NL Comeback Player of the Year this year. Now on to Manager of the Year. AL Manager of the Year, I'm going back to the Tampa Bay Rays and Kevin Cash. This Rays team was forged out of nowhere, and now they are championship contender this year. They are set and ready to make a big push, and I think with Kevin Cash leading them, I think they can make a huge impact this year, and I think it contribute to possibly a championship. And I think with him managing them, he could win Manager of the Year because they're not even projected to win their division right now with the Yankees. So I think he could definitely win AL Manager of the Year. And in NL Manager of the Year, I'm picking David Bell of the Cincinnati Reds. This bolstered Reds team. They have a solid rotation: Sonny Gray, Trevor Bauer, and my guy Luis Castillos. They have a bolstered offense, as I touched on earlier. Mike Moustakas, Shogo Akiyama, Nick Castellanos. And I think if they do very well this year, they were under 500 last year. A lot of credit is going to be given to David Bell. It's going to be given to the salary cap. They did spend a lot of money in the offseason, but if he is able to manage his team, which is just a bunch of pieces put together now, if he's able to put them into a wild card spot possibly, or even a big winning record, possibly win the division, I think he is definitely set to win NL Manager of the Year. Now, for the not World Series yet. Let me see. Yes, World Series predictions. I've talked about the Rays a lot, and I'm predicting them to get into the World Series for the American League. They have a very strong rotation. Three-headed monster of Charlie Morton, Blake Snell, and my AL Cy Young Award winner predicting, Tyler Glasnow. They have great pitching depth with Ryan Yarbrough and the pitcher-hitter similar to Shohei Ohtani, Brendan McKay, that can make a big impact this year. They have Austin Meadows, who is going to have COVID to start the season, but he's going to be back. He's going to be back soon. He's not showing a bunch of symptoms, so I think he's going to be back and ready to make an impact as soon as possible. And they had some good offseason additions. They added Hunter Renfroe, who has a lot of power. He mashes against lefties. Yandy Diaz mashes against lefties. He was on the team last year. They added Jose Martinez in a trade, mashes against lefties. And Willie Adames, he had a big breakout season last year. I think he's going to continue. And Kevin Kiermaier, who has been a staple for the Rays for years, he's going to be a solid person. He's a very good defender. And in the NL, I'm predicting the Dodgers. I hate to do it. Really quick, I'm going to go over why I didn't put the Yankees-Dodgers World Series. The Yankees look so good this year. They have so many pieces that are back and healthy. Gleyber Torres, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez. And they added Garrett Cole to be a pitcher. It just seems too perfect to me. The Yankees always have injury issues. I think something's going to flare up to disrupt the clubhouse, disrupt the team, and I don't think they're going to make it. I think they definitely will be in the AL Championship Series. They could make the World Series too. Don't listen to me. I'm trying to stay on the colder side of things. But I'm predicting the Rays to make the AL appearance for the World Series. In this shortened season, they could get hot really quick. They have all the pieces to do so. And I have them playing the Dodgers. Of course, the Dodgers. They added Mookie Betts. My dog's name's Mookie. I'm a Giants fan. Of course, that's rough. The Dodgers, they have two MVP frontrunners, Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger. That's so dangerous. Gavin Lux, one of the top prospects in baseball. He's not starting the season on the team, but he will eventually be called up. They have veterans, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, to name a few. They have solid pitching, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw. Of course, Clayton Kershaw always chokes in the postseason. Julio Urias is a little bit of the underrated pitcher for them. So I have them making the World Series for the NL. But I have the Rays winning in 7. I can't let the Dodgers win the World Series on my prediction podcast. Can't do it. Just can't do it. You understand out there. The Rays actually could win the World Series this year. They were very solid last year, but they just couldn't get the postseason success that they wanted. They destroyed the A's in the wild card game, but they couldn't make a far push in the postseason. I think this is the year. They have great pitching, amazing depth, like I mentioned. They have guys that can really hit on their team. They have just amazing depth. And of course, you saw almost all World Series winners, they need to have great pitching. The Dodgers have good pitching, but I think the Rays pitching is just a little bit more superior compared to the Dodgers. They have Charlie Morton. They have Blake Snell. They have Tyler Glasnow, as I already mentioned. And you saw the Washington Nationals. They had a three-headed monster last year. Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Patrick Corbin. And three-headed monsters, what do? they win World Series. That's why I have the Rays winning the World Series this upcoming year. I hope you guys enjoyed my predictions. I will be doing a Giants recap coming up in the next couple weeks. I'll just touch on a few things for the Giants. They had a great 2 exhibition games against the A's. They won both of them. First one was 6-2. Second was 4-2. Austin Slater played great in the first one, 5 RBIs, and my guy Mike Yastrzemski in the second one. He had a home run along with Alex Dickerson. In this Giants team, they're not going to be the best team. They don't have a set rotation yet. Of course, the roster isn't even announced yet. But you saw last year what the Giants did. Of course, they lost a lot of pieces, but last year they got hot at the right time, and they were even in the wild card race. You never know with this season. I know I'm just an optimistic Giants fan right now, but with 60 games, anything could happen. Anything. The Giants have been showing great power, and it's crazy to see in Oracle Park them having great power. But with the boarded up walkway in McCovey Cove, the wind staying in, and it just letting the balls carry. And I think that the Giants are going to have a very interesting season. They have a lot of young pieces. I really hope Mike Yastrzemski stays hot, my favorite player in baseball. Of course, Buster Posey is sitting out the whole season. But Joey Bart could get called up very quickly. Very quickly. You don't know though, because it seems like they're kind of trying to hold him back because of service time issue. But the Giants could have an interesting season. They still have Johnny Cueto, who pitched very well at the end of last season. He could break out and could surprise. They have Kevin Gausman, an offseason addition in the rotation. Drew Smiley. Of course, they added Wilmer Flores and a few other infield guys. But I think that it's just going to be a fun Giants team to watch. There's a lot of young pieces. They're not going to win the World Series. They could sneak into the wild card. You never know. So that is all I'm going to say. Every week I'll have a Giants update series. That is all I'm going to go into right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're just as excited as I am to watch some Major League Baseball. Next week, we will have an NBA bubble preview episode for all of you guys. And it won't be just me next time. It'll have most of the gang, at least for Fourth and Short. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. My name is Mateo Arenas. Make sure to check us out on all platforms: Anchor, Spotify, iTunes. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all under Fourth and Short Sports. And I hope you guys have a great day.